All right, so welcome to the Friday edition of Performance Seminar. Tonight we have two performers, and our first performer is going to be Cody, who is going to announce his piece and his name and all that. Can you go ahead? All right, so that was Cody performing. I'll have to look up the names. Gardens in the Rains from Estampes by Debussy. All right, awesome. So I am going to start the poll now, and then we'll go from there. So you guys can start filling that out and look at that. And then if you have any verbal feedback, you can raise your hand pretty much. So we're getting the poll results in. Does anyone have any verbal feedback before I start calling on people? Josh, yeah, if you want to go ahead.
In the beginning, the balance was okay, but I felt like it could have been better. And also, the tempo was also kind of inconsistent. So maybe you can use a metronome to help you.
Does anyone else? Should we get one more person? How about Bella?
I think that you could fix the camera angle a little bit and then, yeah, just work on some dynamics with the variety of it.
Definitely agree with both of those points. All right, so now that we have the poll, let me wrap that up and we can share that with you guys now. Okay, so looking at the poll, in terms of rhythm, you got a solid 3. Yeah, it was pretty all right. It was a little bit hard to follow at times. Like I think that kind of goes with Josh's point of the tempo being a little bit here and there sometimes. So I'd say the rhythm overall was pretty good, like in terms of relative to everything, but the overall pulse sometimes was a little bit unsteady. Um, let's see, in terms of notes, you got you got 1 vote for 3 and 3 votes for 4. Yeah, I thought the accuracy on the notes was pretty good for the most part. That's probably right about where it was. I didn't hear anything that was necessarily sounded wrong at all. So I think it was pretty good in terms of the note accuracy. In terms of the pulse, yeah, this is probably kind of more aligns with what Josh was saying. There was 1 vote for 2, 2 votes for 3, and 1 vote for 4. So I would say, yeah, I think that's probably the biggest one to work on is just overall pulse, since it's just a lot of 16th notes and then later on triplets and various other like rhythmic subdivisions. Making sure that there's a defining line between what is what, so then it's very clear within this piece. In terms of dynamics, you got the same score as the previous one. You got 1 vote for 2, 1 vote for 4, and 2 votes for 3. So in terms of the dynamics, as Bella mentioned, probably increasing the dynamic range, it kind of felt that it was kind of within the same range throughout the entire part. So I think that would be something to work on as well. And then a side note on the balance as well. Overall was pretty good, but I think there were some parts where the left hand felt a bit heavy or overpowered the right hand at some points as well. And then in articulation, you got 1 vote for 2, 1 vote for 2 votes for 3, and 1 vote for 4. And yeah, articulation was pretty clean for the most part. I think there were a few markings that were missed, but overall, I think it was pretty all right in terms of that. But I think making sure to clean up the rhythm and the pulse with that will help with the overall building of the articulation and building clarity within the articulation as well. Awesome.